it's like, oh, if I really tune in right now, is there like a part of me that could be aroused? As a somatic sex educator, like one of our core practices is mindful erotic practice. And that's like about showing up to yourself in a time container, being willing to connect with your body and sexuality, however it looks, in whatever states you're in. Like, reflecting on a lot is how, like, in a time like this where there's so much uncertainty and there's so many things to not know about and worry about, and just like it's really easy to come outside of regulation. And as soon as like my body is dysregulated, the last thing I'm going to think about is being in my body and being in my sexuality or finding pleasure. It's like, no, it's fight, flight, freeze, like all the blood flows away from your genitals into your hands and feet. um, and it's just, and it's okay. That's okay too. Been doing a lot of reflections on like what's essential right now, and like what's essential for me to do or not do, how to be, how to reach out, how to come within myself. What's becoming really clear is spending time in nature and like reflecting on resiliency and how, what are those pieces of resiliency for me, which, yeah, every day moving my body in ways that feel good, as well as touching my body in some way, like just even like that sort of like open up your arms really wide and give yourself a big hug. Like that's important right now. Reflecting a lot on like how do we connect to our bodies and our sexuality in a time like this? Like how can that be a resource for us? Because like nature and going for a hike can be like one piece of resiliency, but sometimes nature's not available, or it's actually not inviting. It's more inviting to be home in a curled ball with like pillows and books, or yeah, just the comforts of the inside world are also really, really precious. And like it's really okay to have no relationship with or feel disconnected from parts of ourselves or our body or our sexuality. Like I think this is really a time of welcoming what is, and without welcoming what is, like without just kind of having some level of acceptance, I don't think anything can change. Then I'm just like in a place of my resistance to what is, and I couldn't even like welcome like, oh, I feel disconnected from my body, and maybe as soon as I accept that, something could open up. It might not, but something could. And suddenly it's like, oh, if I really tune in right now, is there like a part of me that could be aroused? Is there a part of me that could like find a turn on?
Cool. I mean, it's really cool because I feel like I'm thinking about very similar things, but from a different perspective, in the sense of noticing just every limiting mindset that I have around, just really noticing how much, if I'm not careful, I can believe a really stupid story. And that story says that I'm not capable of experiencing something that's like as as beautiful as I want it to be, and as amazing as I want it to be, and that I can, if I'm conscious and I can notice my body, like that's the process, right? Like notice that you're in something, and then see what kind of trajectory you can take to bring yourself towards something else that will ultimately make you feel good. Because I think as I get older, I'm like, I think life is should feel good. Like it shouldn't just be suffering. Like the suffering is necessary, but it's not. We the more I see how much choice I have, the more I'm seeing like, oh wow, there's a lot of possibility for arousal or excitement or beauty or